More than 50 years after the Apollo era, humanity is preparing for a new chapter in lunar exploration. Now, on 9th June 2026, NASA officially announced the crew for the Artemis III mission, marking a significant milestone in its long-term plan to return humans to the moon and eventually pave the way for missions to Mars. But what exactly is Artemis III? Who are the astronauts selected for this historic mission? And why is this mission important? And how does it fit into NASA's broader Artemis program? In this video, we will discuss NASA's recent Artemis III crew announcement. We will understand the objectives of NASA's Artemis 4 mission and the latest 2026 announcement of Artemis 3 and Artemis 4 together, and we'll take a closer look at Artemis program as a whole, its goals, significance, and its role in shaping the future of human space exploration. So as you can see here, NASA announces Artemis 3 crew and taps US astronauts Italian for mission with SpaceX Blue Origin mooncraft. So if I talk about the Artemis mission, जो recently जो Artemis 3 mission announced है, उसमें total 4 crew members हैं, and out of these 4 crew members, जो एक crew member है वो Italian है, and जो other 3 crew members हैं वो USA के हैं. तो हम सबसे पहले हम ये समझेंगे कि आखिर what is this Artemis mission and how did this mission start and what is the main objective of this mission and what are the different missions associated with this particular mission. तो अगर हम शुरू करें तो पहले हम Artemis 3 के बारे में जानते हैं कि recently न्यूज़ में क्या आई है. So Artemis 3 is the third mission under NASA's Artemis program. So basically NASA announced its program which is known as Artemis program. Artemis is known as the twin sister of the Greek god Apollo. Okay, Apollo, Artemis, and Apollo आपको याद होगा कि it was 1969 20th July when the first lunar exploration was successful and first human to land on moon was Neil Armstrong and the second was Buzz Aldrin. तो 1969 के बाद 17th Apollo 17 mission जो है it was in the year 1972 and that is the last moon mission that NASA or any country held. Okay, उसके बाद नासा री-अनाउंस्ड कि अब सिंस 1972 कोई भी मून पे नहीं गया, कोई भी मून एक्सप्लोरेशन नहीं हुआ, बट नासा ने बोला कि अपोलो की जो लास्ट मिशन है 1972 उसके बाद अब आर्टेमिस मिशन आएगी. आर्टेमिस इज द टर्म जो कि क्या है, ग्रीक गॉड सिस्टर, राइट. अब आर्टेमिस मिशन का भी ऑब्जेक्टिव यही है कि जो मून एक्सप्लोरेशन है और ह्यूमन स्पेस फ्लाइट टू मून, इस ऑब्जेक्टिव को वो सक्सेसफुल बनाए. तो अगर हम देखें तो क्रू मेंबर जो नासा ने अनाउंस किया है आर्टेमिस 3 के लिए, दिस इज टू बी रिमेंबर्ड फ्रॉम एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, दैट्स रैंडी रेंसिक, वो कमांडर है, लूका पायलट, and always remember this Luca Parmitano, this particular astronaut belongs to the country Italy, okay, and the rest astronauts are from USA. So Andre Douglas is mission specialist, Frank Rubio is mission specialist, and one backup is there, Bob Hines. Okay, apart from that, अगर हम Artemis 1 की बात करें तो basically Artemis 1 tested the spacecraft, okay, and it was an uncrewed mission. Artemis 2 tested humans in deep space. Artemis 3 will test the systems needed before returning the astronauts to moon. Okay, now let me tell you one thing. Till May 2026 it was decided by NASA कि हम 3 Artemis mission जो है वो लॉन्च करेंगे. फर्स्ट टेस्टिंग होगी, अनक्रूड होगी, स्पेस क्राफ्ट को टेस्ट करेंगे. सेकेंड will be the crewed mission to test the human safe return from moon, not going to moon but leaving the space orbit and then entering into the space and then coming back. Okay, Artemis 3 was planned to launch the first human landing on moon since 1972, but now in June 2026, NASA has announced that not Artemis 3 but Artemis 4 mission will land humans to moon after 1972. अब NASA ने plan को change किया है, so you have to remember that not Artemis 3 is going to land humans on moon, rather Artemis 4, which is scheduled for the year 2028, is going to land humans on moon, and again Artemis 3 is only going to be a test flight to land on moon in the year 2028. Now, talking about the Artemis program, as I discussed earlier, so NASA's Artemis program is the flagship lunar exploration program aimed at returning the humans to the moon after the Apollo era 1969, and establishing a long-term human presence on the moon as a stepping stone for the missions to Mars. The program is named after Artemis, the twin sister of Apollo in the Greek mythology. Now, why Artemis is important? For few reasons. First, returning humans to moon. Second, putting the astronauts near the lunar south pole. So lunar south pole जो है वो ice covered craters है वहाँ पे, and it is the most unexplored region of moon, and they want to find out the reasons of existence of the ice caps and also the exploration of the other minerals, and that will lead to unraveling, or that will lead to knowing the unknown facts associated with moon or our planet Earth. The next is the development of the technologies for sustainable lunar habitation, and the final objective is future human missions to Mars, which is the most important objective. तो ये lunar mission तो है, but lunar mission का जो long term objective है, that is putting humans on Mars from the moon. Okay, the next is key component. So there are three key components associated with it. First is Space Launch System, NASA's most powerful rocket designed to send the astronaut beyond the Earth orbit. The second is Orion. Orion is nothing but it is a crew capsule that carries astronaut to and from the moon. And the third is SpaceX, that is human landing system, and it is designed to transport astronauts from lunar orbit to the moon surface and back. Now, Artemis 1, it was launched in the year 16 November 2022, and it was the first uncrewed mission of the Artemis program. And importance is it proved that the hardware needed for human lunar mission was ready for crewed testing. Second is Artemis 2, and it was launched in the year April. Artemis 2 became the first crewed Artemis mission, please remember this, and it was launched in the year April 2026, carrying 4 astronauts around the moon and back. And the crew were Weissman, Victor Glover, Christiana Koch and Chemery Hansnein. The next is, now the question is, did Artemis 2 land humans on moon? No, it did not. Okay, although it was a crewed mission, but it was an experimental mission. Okay, the ideology was not to land humans on moon, rather it was to test the human in the space around the moon. Okay, so Artemis 4 is going to land human on moon. Now, so it performed a lunar flyby and returned to Earth, similar in the concept of Apollo 8. And importance is it demonstrated that humans can safely travel in Orion before attempting the lunar landing. The next is Artemis 3. So originally, always remember, originally Artemis 3 was supposed to land the astronauts near the moon's south pole. However, in 2026, NASA revised the plan. The first crewed lunar landing has now been moved to Artemis 4, not to Artemis 3, while Artemis 3 becomes a complex test mission in the orbit. This has to be remembered, okay? Now, next is, then what will Artemis 4 do? What will Artemis 4 do? As I explained earlier, it will travel to the lunar orbit. It will send 2 astronauts to the lunar south pole. It will spend about a week conducting the scientific exploration, and it will become the first human landing on moon since Apollo 17 in the year 1972. Okay, now there's a small difference and objective also between the Artemis program and also the Apollo program. So as you can see here, how Artemis different from Apollo. Apollo program यहाँ है, Artemis program. So Apollo program was a short-term lunar visit. Okay, but Artemis program is a long-term lunar presence. Second difference is equatorial landing sites Apollo program, but South Pole landing. South Pole is completely unexplored because in equatorial landing many countries have attempted successfully. Okay, now limited international participation in Apollo but extensive international cooperation in Artemis. As you can see, Italian astronauts are also boarding with the other US based astronauts in this Artemis program. The next is Mars preparation. Okay, explicit Mars preparation, but in Apollo there was no Mars preparation. This has to be remembered. The next is older technology, but here it is advanced digital system and AI modern units. Now talking about the missions, Artemis 2, 3 and 4. So Artemis 2 is crewed, Artemis 1 is uncrewed, Artemis 3 is it will test Orion and Starship Blue Moon, and the Artemis 4 is it will land astronauts near the moon south pole. Now here is one UPSC related prelims question. I would request you to attempt this question. I kindly post your answer in the comment section. The question says that consider the following statements regarding the NASA's Artemis program. Point number 1. The Artemis program aims to establish a sustained human presence on the moon and support future human missions to Mars. Second is the Orion spacecraft is designed to carry astronauts beyond the low Earth orbit. Third is Artemis 1 was the first crewed mission of the Artemis program. Fourth is the Artemis missions are planned to explore the lunar south pole region. Which of the following given statements are correct? So option 1, 1 and 2, option B, 1, 2 and 4, option 3, 2, 3 and 4, and option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I would request you to kindly post your answer in the comment section, and I will see you soon in the next video. Thank you so much.